We are here before you today to seek your support for greater protection for FBI employees and to address the FBI's retaliatory and unlawful use of national security authorities. These actions have been directed at intimidating my family and obstructing our pursuit of justice in open civil court proceedings. The situation we face is not unique to our family. It is a matter that reflects broader issues of accountability and misuse of some of the most sensitive and broad national security authorities wielded by the FBI. Please know that we have done everything possible to use internal and legal process to resolve this situation quietly and at the lowest level. At this point, the FBI has given us no other option. I'm Emily Fertitta. I'm a special agent with the FBI and have almost 20 years of federal service. This is my husband,
Valentine Fertitta. I'm a special agent with the FBI. I'm also an officer in the United States Marine Corps Reserve with over 27 years of combined service to those agencies, multiple combat tours in Iraq and Afghanistan, and I am rated as a disabled veteran by the Department of Veterans Affairs. In late 2020, a military checkup revealed a potential life-threatening condition related to exposure to a blast in Iraq some 16 years earlier. I missed a substantial amount of time from work over a 3-month period to deal with my disability. Given a clean bill of health eventually, I returned to work and applied for a promotional opportunity. In violation of FBI policy, I was blocked from applying. I was being discriminated against due to taking time off to treat my disability, a clear violation of the Uniformed Services Employment Rights and Reemployment Act and Equal Opportunity Law. When I reported the violation of policy to the first SES in my chain of command, retaliation was immediate. When I reported the retaliation, no correction was taken or protection was given. A week after participating in the DOJ's alternate dispute resolution process in an attempt to handle this at the lowest level, I was assigned exclusively to work 49 miles away from my newly appointed position and 49 miles away from my family in a manner designed to cause professional and personal hardship. When I sought assistance from the FBI's Office of Equal Opportunity, I was directed to file a complaint with the Department of Labor for violations of USERRA. The Uniformed Services Employment Rights and Reemployment Act, commonly known as USERRA, the law that protects members of the Guard and Reserve as well as disabled veterans from discrimination. Indeed, the FBI has so little regard for USERRA, it did not even know it was one of the only agencies in the U.S. government exempt from Department of Labor oversight for violations of USERRA. Later, despite passing a recent FBI fit-for-duty evaluation, days after filing my formal EEO complaint, the FBI used my VA disability status to order me to a full mental evaluation and to release all of my Department of Veterans Affairs records to the FBI without limitation. This was a clear fishing expedition to find a reason to revoke my top secret security clearance. As an intelligence official, your clearance is your employability. If it is revoked or suspended, you are unemployable basically anywhere in the U.S. intel community. In the FBI, unlike other U.S. intel agencies, an employee has no ability to appeal this decision. The message was clear. Stop challenging FBI leadership or we will make you unemployable. It is not that the SES level of the FBI management cares about a promotion. It's about control and setting examples. And that example is that if you speak up, you will be the example. The SES even stated in front of other management, we cannot be seen as rewarding those that complain. As seen with FBI whistleblower Marcus Allen and in a recent DOJ IG report, the FBI has a history of using the clearance adjudication process to silence dissent and silence reporting of misconduct. Left with no other option, in December of 2022, we filed a federal EEO lawsuit. In August of 2023, as the lawsuit's discovery process threatened to expose violations of policy, law, and the Constitution by senior FBI officials, the FBI made me the target of a national security investigation and labeled me an insider threat. The FBI analyst who wrote the report to open the investigation, even notes the reason for the investigation is my whistleblower, EEO, and USERRA reporting activity, and that there is no indication of classified material being mishandled or leaked. By opening a national security investigation, this allows the FBI to extend national security protections to previously unclassified documents relevant to our civil proceedings, neatly concealing them beyond the reach of even the federal courts. At the same time, the FBI denies the existence of these unclassified documents in the federal court proceedings. It uses these documents to accuse me and my family of violations of national security policy and law that it cannot cite. Having this open national security investigation, going on now for 18 months, also allows the FBI to direct the witnesses in the civil proceedings not to answer questions relative to the civil matter.
The FBI is using its national security authorities to hide misconduct. Because the FBI couldn't intimidate my husband to pull his lawsuit, the FBI is now going after me. The FBI has ordered me to undergo 3 days of interrogation where I will be questioned about my husband's protected whistleblower, EEO, and USERRA activities. Notably, the order for this interrogation came from the same official who was deposed by our attorney just days prior. And these interrogations are scheduled to occur just days before the depositions of the most senior FBI officials named in my husband's lawsuit. FBI advised that during this interrogation, I am stripped of my rights to spousal privilege or rights to an attorney due to national security. We advise criminals of their rights, but the FBI refuses to cite which policy or law they are using to strip me of my rights. It is clear that there is a predetermined end to this investigation, and it will all be neatly concealed behind a wall of national security and beyond judicial review. These threats are meant to be intimidating, to make me in fear of losing my security clearance and my job. This isn't happening just to us. The DOJ OIG released a memo in May of 2024 confirming DOJ and FBI practice that's inconsistent with the intent of the federal statutes. There are findings of misuse of national security powers, including retaliation for protected whistleblower activity. Unlike employees of other U.S. intelligence and law enforcement agencies, there is no recourse or appeal if an FBI employee's security clearance is suspended and revoked. This memo was released in May of 2024. The FBI is still doing this in January of 2025. This indicates 2 key points. 1, the FBI has no intention of correcting this type of behavior, and 2, it has no willingness to enforce effective oversight of the FBI. Indeed, numerous senior FBI officials are aware of my situation. Only one has taken action to protect me from this misuse of power. Amazing FBI employees go to work every day to carry out the FBI's critical mission. They work hard and sacrifice so much to protect the American people. The FBI employees deserve the same rights and protections as other intelligence agencies.
You, the public, and our elected officials are our last best hope. We are asking for your assistance in 3 main areas. 1, to stop the FBI's misuse of its national security authorities to intimidate this family and interfere with the civil legal process as we pursue justice in the courts. Again, we do not ask for any intercession in the merits of the legal portions of this case, but specifically with those national security authorities that Congress has granted the FBI that allows them to take retaliatory action outside the purview of any judicial body. Second, make changes under law that provide FBI employees the same protections enjoyed by other members of the U.S. intelligence community and federal law enforcement agencies. An example of this is Presidential Policy Directive 19, more commonly known as PPD 19. Published in 2012, it protects whistleblowers who have top secret security clearances. This policy applies to nearly every intelligence agency in the United States intel community, except the FBI. Given the FBI's unparalleled domestic authority with a dual law enforcement and intelligence mission, its employees should have greater protections to report misconduct than other agencies like the CIA, DoD, or NSA that operate primarily overseas. Applying the tenets of PPD 19 under the force of law to the FBI will provide these better protections. Third, we ask for better protections of members of the Guard and Reserve who serve in the FBI and disabled veterans. USERRA needs to be applied to the FBI in full force under the threat of judicial review. If I was a Secret Service agent or an intelligence officer at the NSA or any other intel community, I would have full USERRA protections. FBI employees who go the extra mile to serve in the Guard and Reserve and/or who are disabled veterans deserve full protections, not less. And if you look recently, a substantial amount of these whistleblowers that have come forward from the FBI have military service. Why is that? Well, I believe it is because our military service and training has etched onto our souls a respect for the Constitution and a moral compass that does not bend. As we have stated, the majority of FBI employees embody some of the finest Americans you will ever meet. This, however, cannot overcome the historical fact that a very small group of people willing to harm others will maintain control of a majority. There are many proposals to reform the FBI, and the FBI does not need to be burdened with more onerous oversight. It will not produce the cultural shift that must occur in the agency to correct these problems. Providing, under law, the same rights and protections as other U.S. intelligence community members and federal law enforcement employees will do much to correct these reoccurring issues at the FBI. If you protect FBI employees, they will come forward when things are wrong, unjust, or there are violations of policy, law, or the Constitution. This transparency will ultimately make us, the FBI, a more effective, more efficient, and a just force that America deserves. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to your support.